Are we in focus? Touch your face just in case. On the screen!
Hey guys, it's Jamie.
And Shaaba.
And as most or some of you will probably know, Shaaba is my girlfriend.
Jamie and I met when we were about 16 and we were best friends for about a year. You came out as trans, we remained friends through that, and afterwards we got together.
Yeah.
That was around November of
2011.
My parents found out about it the January following that, and World War III promptly occurred. I think it's fair to say. We've spoken a little bit about sort of like the difficulties of bringing two cultures together, especially because my family is quite religious and very cultural in that way. And they really struggled with the whole idea of Jamie being trans as well as white and not religious. But times have moved on.
Yeah.
We have all developed and we come bringing good news.
Yeah, hence why this video is called The Ultimate Update of Happiness. It's all about the ultimate acceptance from Shaaba's family.
Yes, it has happened. I am not just pinching myself and waking up. It really, really has happened.
Yeah, we're just going to do a quick recap for those of you that haven't watched our previous videos of what happened. And then we're going to talk a little bit more in depth about what's happened more recently that we haven't talked about before in videos because it's new. Yay.
Okay, so a quick recap of the trials and tribulations of early Shamey. As I said, my mum's side didn't really accept our relationship. They really struggled with the idea of me being with someone who was transgender and not religious and white. I think a lot of it came because they didn't quite understand what being trans was as well and weren't really willing to learn or try to understand at that point as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Which is quite a typical response, I think. So initially they thought I was a lesbian and sort of asked everyone in my family for advice about how to deal with a lesbian child.
And didn't use the correct name and pronouns for me.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was very difficult for you.
Yeah, and you, I would say.
Definitely more so for you though.
It was a tough time.
Yeah.
And for them as well, let's not forget, you know, it was hard all round. And I think we kind of went through the stages of going from, oh my gosh, you must break up with Jamie, to, okay, I realise you're not going to break up with Jamie, but we will never, ever speak about this and hope that it will all go away.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was stage 2, tabooness.
I knew that when Shaaba was seeing her family, I couldn't...
My mum's side.
Yeah, your mum's side. I couldn't call or text or anything in case my name popped up on your phone and they saw it.
It then went a little bit sour again, and I think in an attempt to make me choose perhaps between Jamie and family, I was sort of restricted from seeing my sisters and my mum, and it all got a little bit dark, which wasn't the most pleasant experience again.
And then uni time happened and Shaaba popped off to London for a bit with uni. Yeah,
which didn't work out for reasons not to do with Jamie, if I'm entirely honest. I kind of spoke about that in another video. Long story short, I came back and Jamie convinced me to try university again here in Essex, which I did, and it worked out, which my mum again was not so pleased about because I kind of left a more prestigious university to come to the University of Essex. But I am so glad that I made that decision because life has been fantastic since. I have a degree, I have a master's degree. We both have master's degrees. In that time as well, I think with the heat dying down about the talk of our relationship, things also progressed. I should probably also mention that this was all with my mum's side. My dad, his partner, and their little kids are and have always been completely fine with Jamie and I's relationship. So we did have sort of support and acceptance from somewhere. And your parents?
Yeah, my family.
Okay, yeah. But family means a lot to me, and I was really close with my mum and my sisters, so it was quite important that we sort of built the bridges there.
And then once Shaaba switched universities, there was a very difficult time, particularly for you, where Shaaba couldn't see her sisters and didn't see her mum very much, and came to live with me and my family for about 6 months-ish.
If you say so.
Yeah, until we moved into this flat here.
Ta-da!
And then things kind of progressed, like Shaaba could go back and see her family and stuff, and it slowly moved forward, but I was still kind of an unmentionable topic for a while.
Jamie was no longer a taboo, but just a rare occurrence.
Yeah. And it kind of stayed like that until we fast forward to Christmas of 2014.
So that was 3 years of kind of hesitance and
difficulty,
strain on family relationships.
But then that Christmas, I was kind of like, I think it's time. We kind of made a move because things felt like they weren't hostile anymore, but they were just kind of distant, and people were still kind of trying just to not talk about it. But I was like, maybe if I try and reach out, we can progress this a little bit further. So I was like, I want to get your family Christmas presents and deliver them myself. I went over one day shortly after Christmas to deliver the presents, and I was invited in and had a chat with Shaaba's mum and stepdad for quite a long time. So long, in fact, that my mum started to get worried about where I was. And that seemed to go quite well. It did feel like a little bit of an interrogation, not gonna lie, with kind of where I saw the relationship going, marriage, babies, my transition, everything like this.
Though I don't think that's necessarily because of our particular situation.
No,
it's kind
it
of
was just
parents, you know.
It was like
parents.
It was like a 3-year catch up on missed out information. But
and they were super surprised as well
by how I looked.
And what trans actually meant, and you know, that's when they started to sort of want to understand it a bit more and listen to Jamie.
After that happened, things definitely felt like they progressed and got better and easier. Like when Shaaba's mum came and picked her up from the flat, we'd say hi to each other.
I'd occasionally get the, so how's you know, the other one?
Yeah, you had a 21st birthday party, summer 2015, wasn't it? And my parents were there as well, and it wasn't awkward. It wasn't like the most comfortable thing. I think everybody was still a bit kind of,
oh, who are these white people at the
like
party?
Aware of everybody else. But it was a really good party. Everyone had a good time.
We had sumo wrestling.
Yes. Yeah. Oh my god, the sumo wrestling.
But no, it was great, and for me it was really amazing to be able to invite sort of like these 3 camps of family that meant so much to me, and attempt to bring them all in one place. It was the dream. It was really, really cool. It meant a lot. I think we did another video after that as well. We did one after the Christmas story for an update. We'll pop the links to the
we'll do all the links to the videos
if you haven't caught up.
And then the next thing that happened was our graduations. It was your graduation day that I spent the day with Shaaba's family and you, obviously, because you were graduating. And then we had dinner together to celebrate with your dad's side. So we kind of saw everybody, and that was nice. And things kind of carried on plodding along fairly pleasantly for the rest of 2015, and then most of 2016 as well, until things kind of blew up a little bit at the end of 2016.
And that is you all caught up now on what we spoke about in previous videos.
So all new information coming up.
Dun dun dun. Sorry.
I do love you.
Thank you. I love you too. So if we fast forward to the end of 2016, my beautiful sister Shazia had her 16th birthday party. So me and Jamie were invited, and I kind of had a moment because my mum's side moved in between all of that to St Albans, which is quite far away from Essex where we are now. I kind of struggled from being able to see them every week, you know, just popping down the road for dinner, that kind of thing, which we still do with your family, to now not being able to do that with either of my family parties, camps, squads. No. I sort of texted my mum and was like, oh mum, I'm really upset, I need to see you, I love you all, blah 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 blah. And somehow, in some very bizarre way, I still don't comprehend it, that turned into mum uninviting me from the party with Jamie. So sort of saying, you can come, but you can't come if you're going to bring Jamie. It was so bizarre. It was so bizarre. And we knew that there were some other things at play and all of that stuff. Regardless, it happened. And I just got so tired of it. You know, neither of us could comprehend why that happened. We thought we'd made so much progress, as the videos have shown. And we were so happy with how things were going, especially considering how long we'd spent getting to the point that we were. And it just kind of felt like it was all a bit of a lie or a facade, because we're just straight back to square one.
Yeah, it literally felt like we'd taken all the steps backwards and more, and I think it was almost harder to deal with than the first time around, because we'd been very hopeful for the past year and a bit, and then suddenly, what felt like out the blue, we felt like none of the acceptance had been genuine. If that's it was tough.
It was, and I think probably in hindsight not the best way to react, but I sort of just let loose. And so did you, actually, for the first time.
Yeah.
Normally, you know, we do try and treat these things with respect and being very fragile about this sort of thing, giving them the time, because we understand that
it's difficult. I think it just reached that point where I'm usually a very mellow person. I don't like confrontation, I don't like argument or anything like that, and I will avoid it if possible. But I just reached a point where it was really upsetting me to see how upset Shaaba was, and I was finding it so difficult, and I just had to speak my mind to Shaaba's mum and let her know how I felt and how Shaaba was feeling and how we felt as a couple and how hard it was for us. We understood it was hard for them, but it was really hard on us as well.
Basically, long story short, again, the three of us said some things that...
Words were exchanged. Heated words were exchanged. Things were said that hurt people all round. Yeah, we kind of thought we'd burnt the bridge at that point, didn't we? Yeah.
After that, Jamie received a phone call from my stepdad.
Yeah, and he apologised on the phone call for kind of everything that had happened over the past 5 years and invited us to dinner, both of us, to their home. And it was very out the blue because we were like, things were looking so bad and terrible and just, all hope is lost here type thing. And we get this phone call, both terrifying but incredibly exciting.
I think neither of us could really be fully excited because we were so scared that it might have been a ploy or something, because it was just so out of the blue for that to happen, especially after we'd all had such a big argument.
Yeah.
We just couldn't comprehend why it happened the way it did. But we went down for the dinner, and that was interesting.
Initially, most awkward and uncomfortable 10 minutes where we sat in the corner of the living room
of a sofa,
and your mum, stepdad, nan and three sisters,
all of my sisters were just sort of sitting in a semicircle just sort of staring at us, and we were just like
avoid eye contact. But then your mum broke the ice and the silence, and we cleared the air. We had a chat, an honest discussion. It was friendly. It wasn't...
Some points did perhaps get a bit heated because we were all just being very honest with each other.
Yeah, it wasn't as heated as the emails had been.
No, nowhere near.
It remained on that civilised level. Yeah. There were apologies. There were kind of some explanations all around. Just an open chat about how people were feeling, what had happened, and just a decision to leave the past behind and move forward.
Even to this day, my mum will say to our face, based on her expectations, me being with Jamie, or Jamie was not the ideal partner that she had in her mind.
Yeah.
That does seem a little bit hurtful still, and it's so not true for me. Jamie is fantastic and wonderful in so many ways, and some of you might still take offence to that, but I think, especially if you're in a very similar position to how we were, it is a really good place to be now, that she said, regardless of that, we recognise that you are happy, and that is what's important. That was just music to both of our ears.
It was lovely to hear.
After that discussion, we were all so much more chill. We could actually lock eyes with each other and laugh and smile.
Breathed again.
Yes.
I breathed.
I might need to remind you, because this video seems to be going on for quite a while, I apologise, that this all came about because Jamie and I were essentially uninvited to Shazia's party. And it sort of finished there. That conversation concluded really nicely with my stepdad saying to Jamie, so Jamie, you are not invited to Shazia's party. At which point everyone in the room was like and then he swiftly followed that with as a member of the family, you are expected to come. I honestly could have cried at that moment. That was just so sweet. Yeah. And we went to the party and it was amazing.
I danced.
In a cruiser. We need to insert a photo here.
Yeah, photo of us at thingy here. Since then, things have just been kind of just completely normalising, like the kind of relationship you would expect to have with your partner's family. And we drove down on Christmas Day as well, and we spent part of Christmas Day there the evening, and that was really lovely to just spend some very relaxed, family, happy time with your family.
And since we've all met up a handful of times, travelling up to visit family here in Essex, travelling back down to where they are, it's been so cool. But it's not just mum's parties and events that we're being invited to now as well. Other members of the family, like more distant family members on my mum's side, have also invited us to stuff, which we've gone to. It's just really good.
It's just feeling like a weight has been lifted, and it's just very relaxed. I feel like we don't need to worry about that anymore. It was always something that was kind of in the back of our minds, worrying about it and being stressed and hurt and upset, and now all of that's gone. And it's just a really great feeling. And I think it also shows that things can seem really terrible. You know, for 3 years initially, things were really pretty bad. Then they got better, and then they got bad again, but then they got even better. And it's like, you feel like all hope is lost, but then it's not. And people can still come round, even if it seems like the most dire situation.
Time.
Yeah.
Time and communication are the
Definitely.
two things that have just, you know, made the world of difference.
Yeah. One more thing that really meant a lot to me is Shaaba's mum is a very, very busy lady with her job
busy.
and everything, and she took the time out to drive all the way to our home to visit me on my birthday and give me my presents. That was such a sweet thing to do, and I appreciate it so much. And she even made me a pear and ginger cake, which I love. I love your mum's pear and ginger cake. So
And now I want cake.
yeah, me too. That meant a lot. That meant so much that they did that. It really did.
And the good news doesn't end there,
No,
people.
no, that you think that's everything, but it's not.
No. Yeah, there's more to this happily ever after. Yeah. All of my mum's side now, if you can envisage that, was now like, okay, with Jamie. We all socialised and it was all great. On my dad's side, my dad's immediate family had always been really fantastic and accepting and welcoming and open with no questions asked. But my dad's sister, my aunt, who I am super, super close to as well, struggled a lot. And so did my grandpa on my dad's side. From the very onset, they always said, you make your own decisions, this is your life, it's completely up to you. We cannot accept Jamie, but that doesn't mean that we're going to stop supporting you or speaking to you or anything like that. We would just like to not talk about it. That's how it's been for a very long time.
And just how I got a phone call from Shaaba's stepdad out the blue inviting us for dinner, Shaaba also got a rather out the blue phone call from her uncle.
Yeah, who my aunt had not told my uncle that I even had a boyfriend, in fear that telling him would make him not want me to sort of see their family, who I love very much and do spend a lot of time with as well. So that would have been quite hard. And it was really hard on my aunt to keep that a secret.
Yeah.
I think she just said, okay, well, you know, it's time that I tell him I don't like keeping these secrets. He called me and said, so I understand you got a boyfriend? And I was like, yeah. And then he was like, so I want to invite you both down for dinner. Are you free? Let's work out a time.
And we had a great time.
It was fantastic!
It was wonderful. We drove down and I instantly felt very comfortable around your aunt,
I've actually
uncle,
never
and
seen
their kid.
Jamie so comfortable
Yeah.
around new people before,
We went to
ever.
the best restaurant. I ate so much food. It was amazing. It was lovely to just
so
meet
chill.
other people. And I met your grandpa, your dad's
Yeah.
dad, and he was a very cool guy.
Everyone
Yeah.
there is just amazing. All of my family's amazing.
So I think we can now like officially say that the whole of your family,
Every
met.
single corner that we know of.
We've met them, had dinner with most people. Everybody seems accepting and willing to invite us to their homes and talk about us.
And talk to us.
And to us. It's just such a...
In a positive way. Sorry.
Yeah, no. I know you're excited, we both are.
Okay.
It's just such a fantastic position to be in, and a position that we never thought would happen because of how bad things were in the beginning. I think we're just so grateful that this has happened.
And since Jamie began his transition, you have been met with so much support and positivity and loveliness. There has been very little sort of non-acceptance of you and your transition.
Yeah.
And my family was the big dent there that sort of blemished that record.
In my real life, like offline.
Yeah, except for trolls and stuff. It was really only my family that was causing stress internally, because they were also stressing out because of the misunderstanding and non-acceptance that went around. And you know what? That is 100% completely cleared now.
Yeah.
And we are in such a good place.
Yeah.
So if any of you guys out there are in a similar position, please just know that all hope should not be lost.
Yeah, like don't give up. Time can do wonders. It really can. Yeah, that's everything. That's the summary. We hope you enjoyed it, and we hope it wasn't too long and you kind of got a full picture of what happens and how happy we are about it. Yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.